we ask, and I have to say, it really does rankle me. I don't mean to be bitter, and I am bitter. It bothers me that we must kneel and beg our brother Congress members to please let us build a museum to honor their own mothers and grandmothers.
All the women in Congress support the purchase of the property at market rates, made up of private donations and without any federal support. Streep herself made a $1 million commitment to the project during her speech. Afterwards, I asked her why she has embraced this cause.
Well, this is sort of where everything else flows from. It flows from the generosity of generations of women to the country, and in a way that hasn't really been chronicled. When I say my history, I don't know the heroes of my own history. And I didn't really learn about it. Now I notice in my kids' textbooks, there's the history, and then there's like a special window for a woman's achievement. It's like, and introducing, you know, in a movie. But it seems necessary because these things were left out of the writing. And it's necessary for our sons and daughters to know our own heritage.
Streep is a longtime advocate of the museum, which now exists only in virtual form.
What motivated me really was an admiration for women of my grandmother's generation. And the fact that my grandmother was a mother of three, and she had to go to the golf course with the names of the people that should be on the school board and drag my grandfather off to make him go vote for her because she was not allowed to vote. And when we look around the world and we see cultures that seem to disrespect women in this same way, we think, oh my God, aren't they primitive? Well, that was us. In my lifetime, you know, I knew a woman who was not allowed to vote. So I think that correcting sort of the record is important. And also it's enlivening for people from other cultures to come to Washington and be inspired by the actions of women that came before. It's inspiring to kids, it's inspiring to everybody.
Only 2 anonymous male senators are blocking final passage of the bill to allow the museum supporters to buy the space along the mall.
And their mothers should be ashamed of them. That's the way I feel about it.
But what does that say to you about the state of women in politics these days?
It means you gotta just keep pushing that boulder up the hill. All it will cost them is the caloric energy it takes to get their hand up in the air and say, I